What's up, everyone? Welcome to Disclosure TV, where we will be starting in just a moment. So enjoy the music while you wait. I hope you enjoy the show. Remember to like and subscribe. The chat is open. And remember to hit that thumbs up button.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let them know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show them who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass.
This is not a test.
Mars is the closest place that we can reach with robotic exploration, that we think how to Mars is the closest place that we can reach with robotic exploration, that we think had a really good chance of having. Mars is the closest place that we can reach with robotic exploration, that we think had a really good chance of having ancient life.
The Perseverance rover will land at a location called Jezero Crater. Jezero Crater is a very interesting place. It's a crater that once held a lake.
There are a lot of craters on the surface of Mars that could have once hosted ancient lakes, but not every crater that we think had a lake actually preserves evidence that that lake was there.
It had an inflow channel and it had an outflow channel. That means it was filled. The crater was filled with water.
In Jezero, we have probably one of the most beautifully Mars is the closest deposits on Mars in that crater.
This is a wonderful place to live for microorganisms, and it is also a wonderful place for those microorganisms to be preserved so that we can find them now so many billions of years later.
There is no other place on Mars that has the unique combination of a lake setting, a beautifully preserved delta, and the diverse mineralogy that we have in Jezero Crater. So it's truly a special landing site.
The major goal of the Perseverance mission is to investigate astrobiology on Mars, and in particular, to address the question of whether life ever existed on Mars. The Perseverance rover starts with a design that's very similar to Curiosity, but we've added to it a whole new set of science instruments. And these science instruments were purposefully selected to help us in the search for biosignatures.
We're going to be taking microphones with us. For the first time, we're going to have that human sense on another planet.
Perseverance carries with her a grand experiment in spacefaring technology, a helicopter, the name of which is now Ingenuity.
One of the major upgrades that Perseverance has from Curiosity is that it's able to self-drive for a distance of up to 200 meters per day. As the rover is driving, it's literally building the map of the road it's driving on Mars.
Scientists for years have told us that to really unlock the secrets of Mars, we have to bring samples from Mars back to Earth.
So what Mars 2020 is going to do is to drill samples, put them in small tubes. We're going to seal it in its own individual tube. We set them on the surface to provide a target for the second two missions, which hopefully will get in development in the next several years and could potentially get the samples back to Earth by 2031.
Perseverance is a very, very profound first step in both our understanding of our place in the universe and a stepping stone towards human exploration on Mars.
Welcome everyone to Disclosure TV. I just wanted to show you all that overview video of what's going on. I hope my microphone sounds good. I don't know what it sounds like right now. So I'm hoping that everybody is excited about the Perseverance rover landing on Mars. Just a kind of a fun fact, Disclosure TV does have their name on the Perseverance rover. It's on a microchip. We put our name on the last one as well. The last one had a couple 100,000 on the Curiosity rover. Then this one, there was several million actually that put their name on a microchip, and the microchip is actually right in front of the mass cam on Perseverance, and the last one was actually out of sight on the Curiosity rover. So when just about every picture you might, I'm sure just about every picture you'll get a glance of the microchip that's on Perseverance. And just to think, just to think if there ever is life on Mars, or if we ever go to Mars, or if an intelligent life ever, stops by Mars, if there is such a thing, they can see everybody's name on there, just like the golden record that was NASA put into space. And I don't think they even know where that's at right now. They may know. I actually don't know where the golden record is at. I think it's, I know it's out of our solar system. So, like I said, we have a live chat right now. I may go back and forth to Twitter. NASA is also doing a live chat, I believe. I'm not sure if they're doing one. The launch for, or the landing for the Perseverance rover is actually not starting, or will start about 3:15 Eastern Standard Time. That's our time if you're listening on the East Coast. there is a lot of people that's actually going to be live streaming all of this. And this mission is actually an important mission. It's more dedicated to finding life on Mars than the previous missions. And what's also I kind of find it odd, or I don't know if it's coincidental or not. It may be coincidental that actually 3 rovers are slated to hit Mars this week. The UAE launched a rover. It'll be their first rover. China launched their very first rover to Mars. It's not their very first satellite, I don't think, but they launched their very first rover. I think it's as big as our very first rover. It's almost it's almost minimalist in size. I think I do have a picture of it somewhere. Let me find it. And their rover, I don't know actually much about their rover. They may also be searching for life. It's a possibility. I'm sure everybody searching for life on Mars are going to. As a matter of fact, something that's kind of weird is that all of a sudden, countries had the idea of wanting to go to Mars. And if you watch my Twitter feed at all, I report just about anything and everything to do with NASA, science journals. I never was a nerd, but for some reason, as I got older, I transformed into one, and now all I do is constantly research and read. And the things that I find out, most of the time, the mainstream media just does not want to report or doesn't report, and that's why I have my Twitter account. I have 2 actually, and I have another backup account just in case that Twitter account gets taken down. And of course, I have my YouTube channel. We're trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers, so I hope everybody who watches subscribes. Emma, hello. Thanks for joining us. You're from Ireland. That's great. We have subscribers from all over the place. I mean, we only have 700, I think, but that's I think that's good. And a lot of them are from all over the place. We are unbiased as far as what we report. We are not. We don't really. A lot of the YouTubers out here are either right leaning conspiracy theorists. We do conspiracy theories, of course, but we're not right leaning. I keep my personal political beliefs out of it, which I can tell you my personal political beliefs, which is it doesn't lean left or right, and I believe that we just need a whole new government. That's what I believe. So, like I said, let me find the China rover, the Chinese rover. I'll find it for you. I'll show you an image of it. Actually, Actually, I do have a video of the Chinese rover. As a matter of fact, it actually just went into orbit. It actually just went into orbit not too long ago, actually. This week it went into orbit. Let's see if I can find that for you. I guess I don't have it. So anyway, the Chinese rover, the Taiwan, I think that's Taiwan 1. I think that's how you pronounce it. It actually just went into orbit, I think Monday it was. And it actually showed the rover, Mars's gravity capturing it into orbit. And that was a pretty good video. I don't think NASA's even had showed us something like that. So, it was pretty good. And like I said, Mars rover is smaller. I don't think they let any information out on it as far as what they're doing. It's called the Jade Rabbit rover. And like I said, it's pretty small. I think it's about the size of our first rover. So, our rovers keep going up in size. So far, we have, I think this makes our fourth rover, or fourth rover. This makes our fourth rover, and I think we have about 3 satellites in orbit, and 4 rovers, and billions of dollars. So, the United States has spent a lot of money. Emma, that's actually a good question. No, that's not a silly question. That's a good question. I recently watched, if you've watched a new TV series on Netflix, they have a scenario in the TV show. It's called Space Force. And they have that exact scenario as one of their shows on one of the episodes, and that was but it took place on the moon instead of Mars. Scientists actually created the Chinese scientists actually created a moon base in the Sea of Tranquility, and they had already set up before the United States had gotten there, and the Chinese in the episode, the Chinese scientists in the episode took over the Sea of Tranquility by way of some type of moral, some type of scientific treaty that the United States has with surrounding countries about about outer space, celestial objects or planets, or the moon, and which states that no country can lay claim to parts of any planet or the moon. However, whoever gets there first can lay scientific claim to the area, and another country can't come in and take over the area or interfere with their scientific study. Now, that was on the episode. Now, as far as taking claim, we also have, as far as I know, there is an international treaty that does state that no one country can lay claim to the moon or any other planet or anything in space. It's pretty much an international agreement, kind of like international waters. But as far as if they actually keep to that treaty or not is beyond me, because if you look back at history and actually what we're going through here now on Earth with Antarctica and the Arctic, Russia is actually trying to take over and lay claim to Antarctica and the Arctic. As a matter of fact, Russia planted a flag underneath the ice of Antarctica with a submarine. They planted a flag at the very bottom of the ocean underneath all the Arctic ice, and that flag is sitting on the sea floor, and they're actually trying to lay claim to Antarctica. And back in 1947, I think, the Nazis tried to do the same thing with Antarctica or the Arctic back in 1947, and that's why the United States actually sent a fleet to Antarctica or the Arctic, and actually it was the Antarctica. They sent them there, and that's part of Operation High Jump, and a lot of mysteriousness surrounds that Operation High Jump. So, we have all these international treaties that say we can't, do this, that, and the other, but yet when it comes down to it, it's a matter of who really wants it more. Not everybody's going to follow the treaty, and everybody's going to push that red line as far as they can. And as you know, people break that red line, and would we go to war over it? Would we go to war over Mars? That depends on what the United States actually knows about Mars, what the government knows about Mars, and what NASA knows about Mars. As you know, some things the public's not told about Mars. They keep it classified. And I'm sure there are classified elements to Mars. And if you don't think there are, if you go back to the 1940s as well, the United States CIA, or was it the CIA? No, it was the FBI, I think. Or the Army, maybe the Navy. I think it was the Navy. The Navy did a flyover of Mount Ararat and took pictures of where they thought Noah's Ark had landed on Mount Ararat, and they kept it classified for years. So, if they're going to keep a Bible story, an investigation into a Bible story, and Noah's flood classified, there's no telling what's classified with Mars. And that's how our government is, and that's how a lot of governments are. Russia, China. As a matter of fact, what's weird about Mars and the moon and the hurry to get there is that our launches have increased. Not just here, but all over the world, launches have increased over 2,000% over the last 2 years. And the United States is launching, they're launching pretty much every day now. They're launching into space every day. As a matter of fact, the Artemis program, NASA contracted 2 years ago. NASA contracted Boeing to create 24 Artemis space vehicles, and told them that they had to be done with those in 2 years. And NASA told them they were in a hurry to get those. Well, the Artemis space vehicles actually hold 12 plus people. They hold 12 plus personnel. and those are supposed to be used for the gateway, the star, not a Stargate, but a gateway, which is a sort of like the International Space Station. They are going to be which they are starting to build. NASA actually gave SpaceX the go ahead to start getting the Lunar Gateway ready to start launching. So they're actually getting ready to launch the Lunar Gateway, which is where it's pretty much like an International Space Station between here and the moon. So they're going to start doing that. And I've actually got if you go to my website, I actually have that. That's dated February 12th. NASA contracts SpaceX to start launching lunar gateway sections. So we're getting ready to build a moon base, and every other country in the world is also in a hurry to do that. And space is pretty much the new frontier for everybody. There's not much left here on Earth that we can do. Everything on Earth except for the bottom of the ocean has been explored. And space is pretty much the new is new to us. It's going to be our new money maker. Just like NASA was trying to mine asteroids, and the largest countries are. As a matter of fact, just to show you how important this is, getting to space and each country trying to make their place in space, even countries that have absolutely no space program are attempting to get to space, and they don't even have the funding to do so. Israel does not even, they just started a space program, actually. They try to send up their first lunar rover, I think. Well, the lunar rover was said to have crashed. Well, the funding for that rover and the funding for the space agency is actually coming from private donors, rich people, the elites who live in Israel, or rich people from around the world. Those are actually the people who paid for that mission to go there. And that right there tells me that space is going to be the new political ground. It's going to be the new money maker for people. Whether United States will lead that is beyond me. We do have the technology, but China is jumping ahead of us. So Mars, one day there could be an intergalactic war over Mars. No, well, it's not intergalactic, but it would be I don't know what you would actually call that, but like I said, Mars is going to be like our moon. It's going to be like the stuff you see on TV. People are going to, it's like we're going to start going to cities that are built on other planets, and we're going to have trading facilities there. By the time that happens, we'll probably be long gone. But I wanted to show you a couple things about what's going on with the new Mars rover. So the first thing I want to show you is the Perseverance rover actually has a helicopter built onto it. It will be the first flight of any type of flight technology that has been on Mars. This is the first kind. And I want to show you what it took for NASA to build that and what type of technology it is. And it is a drone. It's a drone, but I want to show you how that works and start talking about Mars a little more. All right, so here's a video of that, and I have a couple more videos to show you. That way you'll know what you're watching, and what's going to be taking place on Mars. So, that's the first aerial flight to take place on Mars. And in watching the video, how that's going to work is what the rover will actually do is it will drop the helicopter down out of the bottom of the rover, and then it will actually move forward and roll over top of the helicopter and move forward probably a couple meters, and it will take forever to do that. It'll probably take 20 minutes or so, and it actually takes about 12 minutes. If you all watch Mars Anomalies at all, I like to get in the chat over on Mars Anomalies. Chris does a great show over there. And somebody had asked him a question, how long does it take for data to be sent back from Earth to Mars? The way that works is it takes, first of all, it takes about 12 minutes. And he also said it's possibility that it's could be instantaneous now based on our technology, and that's a good possibility that it is instantaneous. But as far as I know, it takes about 12 minutes for it to get back to Earth, and that's only if the antenna is Earth facing. And actually, the way any of that at all works is when we were beaming images back from the moon. As far as I know, even from back in 1969, we had to have an atmosphere. The moon has a small atmosphere, and actually, those radio waves and frequencies bounce off the atmosphere. And Mars has a small atmosphere, and with the X band and the S band that they have, I think the X band. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the X band can carry video, and or vice versa. It's one of the two, X band or S band. One of them can carry video. That's why. The pictures of Mars that we get, they come in pixels pretty much, and they come in small sections, and then when they get here, they have to be put back together. Now, as Chris was stating, it could be instantaneous now. It's a possibility. I believe it is instantaneous now. So, in knowing that, we won't know if that helicopter has been released, into the, if it's been released from underneath the Mars rover. We won't know any of that for about 12 minutes after, and then we won't know if the Mars rover has moved out of the way for some time after that, and then when the helicopter actually takes flight, we won't know that for a while. Actually, it'll probably take several days before the helicopter takes flight, because, like I said, they have to send the commands there. They're going to do a pre-flight checklist. They'll probably double check that, triple check that flight list. By the way, I'm sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. I live in Kentucky, and it's wintertime, and so my nose is a little stuffy. So, like I said, it's going to take some time before we actually know. What you'll know today is if the lander actually landed. That's what you'll know today. And as I said, I appreciate people watching the channel. If you're here watching, I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the coverage and my commentary. I'm going to give you another video to watch real quick. And it's going to show how they actually got the Perseverance rover to the launch pad and what that entails. So here's the video. Take a look at it. All right. Since you all watched that video, I'm going to give you a little more information about the Mars rover and what's going on right now. As of 16 minutes ago, 99.9% of the mission is complete. We are only waiting on the last 7 minutes, which is the rover's descent into Mars. As of 16 minutes ago, looking at NASA's Perseverance Mars rover Twitter feed, they've completed the final readiness checks for entry, the descent and landing. So we're just basically waiting on timing. So that is scheduled to start at 3:15, which is in about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. It says a little over an hour to go, so I guess it's going to be an hour. I'm not sure how long it's supposed to be. They said it's supposed to start at 3:15. So you know what? We'll stay on here until then. I don't care. I'm not doing anything. I can't leave. Our roads are packed with ice and snow. I've got electricity, and even if it does, I'll put on my generators just so I can broadcast this. I don't care. I like science. So, back to what we were saying. A part of the if I could talk about a little conspiracy with Mars, just a lot of people think that Earth is not doing so hot. Some people think that an asteroid is due to hit the Earth. Some other people think that the pole shift is going to cause some extreme problems, and with the pole shift event, it happened some 12,000 years ago, and there was some scientist. It depends on which scientist you talk to about the facts of a pole shift and the facts of an extinction event. So it just depends on who you talk to, because there's facts that support a lot of different theories, and like I said, they are just theories. As far as the pole shift goes, we are currently in a pole shift. If you don't know what a pole shift is, I suggest you go over to Maverick Star's YouTube page. He actually has the technology, and he does have the tools, and he actually does follow the pole shift. He actually had MIT build him the technology to monitor our poles. So he tracks our poles every day. He has instruments all over, pretty much all over the planet. And he has sent those instruments to different people, and those instruments, the only thing they do is monitor our magnetic North Pole and where its location is. So if you go over to Maverick Star, he'll tell you everything you need to know about it. Besides him, only NASA is the only other organization that has the capability of monitoring our magnetic pole. I think he has maybe 10 plus instruments spread out through China, Australia, Russia, the United States, I think New Zealand, South America. He's got them all. Canada. he's got his instruments all over the place, and all they do is monitor our the location of our magnetic North Pole, which is currently residing right off of Russia's north coast, towards the Arctic. It moves about 5 miles a month, and it seems to be weakening in some other spots, and scientists really don't know what's going to happen when our poles flip. And like I said, a lot of people aren't really sure on if that has anything to do with why we're trying to why we're in such a hurry to get to the moon and make a moon base, and why we're in such a hurry to make a base on Mars. Because over the last few years, it has really, really sped up, and I'm not talking like NASA sped up just a little bit. I'm talking like the whole niche sped up. Like I showed you a while ago, NASA already told SpaceX to jump in and start launching pieces to the lunar gateway into orbit. They're ready to put it together. And that's pretty much our staging point for building our moon base. So we're in the United States is in a huge hurry to build a moon base. Now, some people believe there's already a base there. Some people, there's actually even videos of showing that maybe we've already been to Mars. Those videos have been shown that they were maybe faked. A lot of people they believe one thing or the other, and really there's no telling what's real, what's fake anymore. And all you can do is do what I do and do what a lot of other researchers do, and that's find the evidence and see how much of it is actually true, and see if it supports the theory. That is nothing any different. That method is not any different than what scientists have said about, or the method they've used for the Big Bang or evolution. So, that's and those are still theories. The big thing right now is UFOs. That's the big thing right now. UFOs are big right now. People believe that the government is trying to quietly disclose, trying to quietly disclose UFO information. And that's another big thing I like to get into is UFOs. I love UFO stuff. I'm a big believer in UFOs. I don't believe in a flat earth. I'll tell you that. I just don't believe in a flat earth. No offense to anybody else. There's no evidence that you could show me that would make me believe that there's a flat earth, but more power to anybody else. The pole shift, like I was talking about, that's actually not a theory. That is happening. That's a proven fact. A lot of people are linking the pole shift to the earthquakes we've been having. All of the volcanoes have been going off. Just recently, Indonesia just keeps getting hit after earthquake after earthquake after earthquake, large earthquakes. And I actually live next to one of the most dangerous faults on the planet, actually.
a lot of people hear about the San Andreas fault, or they hear about, another fault, but the most dangerous fault on the planet actually lies between Missouri and Kentucky. And that fault can produce a 9.0 plus. And actually it did, I believe. I believe it still holds the highest magnitude earthquake, which actually caused the Missouri River, I think it's the Missouri River, to run backwards. Or it may be the Mississippi. So it actually made it run backwards, and it flooded the whole area. So I actually live about 150 miles from there. And if you watch Dutch Sense, he will show you how those earthquakes are spreading across, how earthquakes spread. He's got into arguments with them, with USGS and every, it's been fun to watch. Actually, it's pretty fun. I was going to do a little bit more stuff with this show. I was going to try to have a call-in show with it, but I do have a call-in line set up, but I'm not going to use it because I don't know how it will work. But I wanted to show you all another video real quick. And this video is of the rover launch. And the last video you all watched was how they got the rover to the launch pad. So I wanted to show you all the rover launch. So here it goes.
The Perseverance rover headed to Mars, ready to ride a column of fire and smoke on its way to the red planet.
And liftoff. As the countdown to Mars continues, the perseverance of humanity launching the next generation of robotic explorers to the red planet.
And Atlas TU has gone to closed loop control, standing by for SRB burnout shortly. And we have successful separation of Mars 2020 with the Perseverance rover.
We now have an acquisition of signals, and the years of blood, sweat, and tears from every person who worked on this mission is now realized as Perseverance makes its way to Mars.
So, that was the rover launch. It's the same launch as pretty much everybody else's. A little fact about all the, about launching into space. George Bush actually canceled the space shuttle program, and besides him, Clinton actually, President Bill Clinton started the motion to go into Mars. He introduced the idea to go to Mars, and nothing ever happened with it. George Bush actually very oddly, I might add, canceled the space shuttle program, saying that its time was over. we were spending too much money on the space shuttles and the space shuttle program. It was too costly and too expensive. Well, in the same sentence right after he said that, he then gave NASA more money and told them to go to Mars. Well, in order to go to Mars, you need space vehicles, such as a space shuttle. If we still had space shuttles, if they weren't sitting in museums right now, which I actually believe they did keep one, but I've seen the Endeavor. It's sitting at the when I lived in Los Angeles, it's sitting at the Science Museum in LA, and I've actually got to touch that. I actually don't know if it's a mock-up or if it's even real, to be honest, and they built it and they kept all of them secretly. I have no idea. It looks real to me. But yeah, George Bush did that, and like I said, for some reason, he said it was taking too much money, but at the same time, he gave them more money in their budget and then said go to Mars. And ever since then, we haven't been able to launch people into space on our own. And that's why NASA outsourced and subcontracted private companies to and gave private companies funding to get our astronauts to and from the space station. We've been depending on Russia since then. So, it was kind of odd for Bush to to cancel the space shuttle program and then say it was too costly and then turn around and give them more money. That's just weird to me. So weird. And Obama said his same thing was to get people to Mars. I think he wanted to create a moon base. And after that, it was, I'm not going to say his name, it was DT, President DT. He created our new Space Force. And honestly, after what he said it was for, I was kind of on the fence about it, and I wasn't sure if what he was saying was true about space being the new battleground. And some of the words he used was, I just took them for face value because I don't think he was being cryptic at all. I don't think he was being cryptic at all. And he said we would have battles in space. And we needed soldiers to do that. And so I waited until the new election happened, and I actually now believe what he said, and the only reason being is because I knew that if the new president, if Biden was going to be elected, that he would undo everything DT had installed, or all the executive orders. He would have reversed all of them, which he did, which Biden did. And the only one he didn't reverse was the Space Force. And once he didn't do that, that's when I believed what DT was saying. And so if you add that to the government releasing more and more information on UFOs, I mean, you put two and two together if you want, because I already have. So, you know, that's
about,
you know,
15 or 20.
I don't know if I, you know, I took that at face value. Emma, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to discern any truth anymore. That's why I tell everybody to do your own research. Look for evidence for both sides. Look for evidence that says. Look through the evidence that says there's that it's fake, and then look through the evidence that says it's real. Look through both sides. One of the sides will give you more facts than the other one will, based on you know to help you discern which is real or not. You know, if there's less facts stating that it's real, then it's likely fake. If there's you know, vice versa. Emma, you live in Ireland, and you can't get Dutch sense. If you want to watch more YouTube videos from here, because I know your regional code is different, so of course Ireland would have you blocked from seeing anything from the United States. So the best way to do that is to actually get a VPN. I actually use Windscribe. That's my VPN. I can show it to you. It's right here. This is my VPN. It's Windscribe. If you go through it, if you it is a pay. It does have a free version, but you get the paid subscription. That's what I have. And if you use it, you're more than likely you'll be able to bypass, you know, Ireland's block on, you know, the United States. So, or actually, it's YouTube's block. It would be YouTube's block because YouTube is doing the regional codes. So, you know, you can do it. You can just have your IP go to anywhere: South Africa, India, Bosnia, Albania, United Kingdom, wherever. You can change your IP address, and you can get whatever you want on YouTube and watch whatever you want. And I suggest using one anyway. I can't use one right at this point in time because I'm live streaming. I guess I could, but I think YouTube would actually block me. So, you know, that's what I would use. I'm not sure, but is my video, I guess I was buffering there for a minute. So, you know, we're still waiting on NASA to start, actually.
20 years.
Our team to be sharing this moment with us. This is
actually, we're going to, they're starting now, so I'm going to go live with them, and I'm going to go live with them so we can go ahead and start. You're more than welcome to talk and chat, and and I can still give commentary at the same time. So let's watch what they're doing.
This room is only half as full as it would
So I guess they weren't ready yet, and we're still waiting on them, which is fine with me. We're still waiting on them, it looks like. Like I said, it was probably, they said about an hour, so that's fine. I still got some more stuff. So I guess they weren't ready yet, and we're still waiting on them. My voice is starting to get a little crunchy. So I'm going to show you another video real quick, and this one is it's going to show you a video about what's it going to take to land on Mars. So I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll come back, and I have to get something to drink, and I hope you all like it, and please enjoy this one. So yeah, that was the video for how it's it's a illustration, an animation on what it's going to take to get the Mars, the new Mars rover into orbit and land. That was the video on Mars. Yeah, Emma, I used to. My dad actually used to give me honey and lemon, and actually he actually used to stick a little whiskey in there to make me stop coughing when I was younger, when I had a cold. So, that's actually weird that you say that, because I didn't know they had the same traditions in Ireland that they would in Kentucky. But, I guess it's probably that could be, where that came from. There's no telling where that actually, where that came from. Really, there's no telling where it came from. I actually wanted to show you all another video. Like I said, I'm into UFOs, and I love UFOs, and there's a video of the TR-3B that I wanted to show you. That's the United States, their own very own UFO, if you will. As far as I know, this video is genuine. I've had people send me UFO videos. Yep, the whiskey is a very important part. Makes you stop coughing. So, like I was saying, people send me UFO videos. 99.9% of the videos are either fake, or they're not real, or they're some other object. And a part of those videos, well, the 1%, I won't say 99.99, I'll say 99%. That 1% are real, but there are a lot. There are thousands of UFO videos that belong to that 1%, that are, that can't be dismissed as fake. I'll say that. They can't be dismissed as fake, and there's thousands of them. And actually, if you look at my Twitter, I might even have it on my website. The National Guard in Oregon actually took pictures of the TR-3B in the air. Those pictures came from a soldier, and they took pictures of what I'm getting ready to show you. These aren't those pictures, but it's it's the same object, and it was from the Oregon National Guard, and they were on their base when they took pictures of it. And I thought that was just amazing. And there's a lot of government officials that have come out, even presidents have came out and said, you know what, this crap's real. So here's a look at the video right now. And I'm not sure, what's going on in this video. It looks like they're testing it. The TR-3B is anti-gravity. It is known, if you look on Google, there is a Google patent for anti-gravity. And it shows this exact triangle-shaped craft. And, the only way for them to test this is to do it in the air. I mean, you can't test it anywhere else. That's just amazing to me. And I know this video has not yet been confirmed as fake, but it can't be denied as real either. And this is the exact object that they took a picture of in Oregon. Emma, I believe the same thing. I believe that as vast as the universe is, and as vast as it is, I believe in God. I believe in, that's what my religion was. I believe in God. I don't believe that God only made us. The universe, He made the universe so big that that's impossible. Why wouldn't He have only just made this one planet and the sun and that's it? Why did He, if we were the only ones, why did He have to make other planets? There would have actually been no reason to make any other planet. Just the earth and the sun would have been it. I'm sure he made the universe and what's in it. But why would you make the universe that big? And why would you make so many planets outside of the earth if we were the only ones? And I've actually been discussing a lot of this with my wife, and she was like my dad. She didn't believe in, she doesn't believe in aliens, or UFOs. But, I do read the Bible. I know the Bible very well. My father was a preacher. My uncle was a preacher. And I grew up all my life in it. So I know the Bible and I know what it says. And I also know that there's things in the Bible that contradict itself. And I know, there's a lot of things that I don't know about the Bible, but there's a lot of things that I do know, and I know the majority of it. So it looks like they're back. They're back into the live stream. So let's go back into see what's happening with NASA.
And activity, please call that out when it's ready. Copy, Flake.
Right. Now, Rob, you've been right where the Perseverance team is sitting now. What's in store for them as we approach landing?
Well, this is the nail-biting time. Fortunately, we still have ones and zeros coming, but very soon, as we approach cruise stage separation, the transmitter on this rover we've been using all the way to get to Mars is going to be turned off. So we will lose our ability to see ones and zeros. But the good thing is, once the cruise stage is gone, there's another radio that will continue transmitting a tone, so that like a flashlight that will allow us to at least see that the vehicle is still on, and that color of that flashlight tells us a little bit what state the rover's in. But soon after that, it won't be very long before we'll be able to hear more ones and zeros coming from. Find our own mistakes, and we work very hard to learn from the mistakes of the past. We've had many failures. Remind people, roughly half, around half of the missions to Mars over history have failed, and so it's that could happen today too. Even though we've had a nice, wonderful string of successes in the United States, it's still still a bit of a gamble. A gamble that we have hoped that we have erred in the side of luck, and we've stacked the deck and loaded the dice to make this thing succeed. But if we do fail, if something bad happens today, I can tell you we're going to learn it. We'll have the data that tell us what happened. We'll know why. We'll figure it out, and if we are allowed, we will pick ourselves up and get us back on the horse. And if Congress and NASA allow, we will try again. As we always do, we will learn from our mistakes.
And what are the possible scenarios we could be looking at today?
Well, there's things like one of the key stressful elements for all of us is parachute inflation. But just even separating from the cruise stage is a pretty major event. Lots of devices have to work properly. Certainly, the heat shield separation, getting the descent engine started. There's no less than 16 rocket motors that have to work. 8 to control during entry, another 8 to control it during landing. I said it's a lot of stuff, and it all has to work. And guess what? We haven't done this before with this vehicle ever. This is its first attempt to actually land. We can't try this on Earth. We can't do. We don't have test pilots to try it out on this planet before the big show. So this vehicle is doing it for the first time. We've done the best testing we could do in bits and pieces, but it's as best as we could do. But I think our team is up to it. This team is the best. It's a diverse, intelligent, amazing group of people. People from all over the world who worked on this, not just here in California, but all over NASA, contributors from aerospace, universities, countries around the world. It is just an incredible, remarkable engineering achievement, and I am just so proud of this team.
Thanks, Rob. Now, let's listen back into Mission Control.
Flight, we're about 14 minutes from entry interface. The vehicle is currently preparing the heat rejection system that has kept the thermal system cool inside the air shell for about the last 6 months. This will allow the spacecraft.
All right, so we're about 14 minutes away from separation. We're waiting on.
We have now enabled the rover
We're waiting on the capsule to separate from.
powering off the cruise stage devices.
All right, so we're waiting. Sorry about that. We're waiting on it to separate from. It's I guess it's the piece that keeps it in orbit. And they are powering on all the devices right now. And that way they can jettison. That way they can jettison the capsule away. And it seems like we're losing video.
Liquid and gas.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
To protect the vehicle from getting too hot on the way to Mars. We have to vent it into space.
So right now they're it's getting ready to
major events that take place
separate, and here in a minute we're getting ready to know it. There will be a time in between there.
In approximately 3 minutes.
There will be a time in between there where we don't get any information whatsoever. So let's listen back in real quick.
We are coming upon cruise stage separation in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
What's happening now, Rob?
We're just waiting. The rover is completely in charge. It's doing all the things we've taught it how to do. It's all built into the software. We've tested it over and over and over again. This team has spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, testing this thing for years, and so this is really the culmination of all that work. So this vehicle is getting ready to push that cruise stage away. Once it gets pushed away, the entry system with the rover inside, with the rover still in charge, is going to get ready to take the vehicle, turn it to the right orientation, and aim it to Mars, and prepare for entering the atmosphere.
Telecom is confirming that the spacecraft has switched to broadcasting tones These tones are received directly from Perseverance, but have very limited information content. We won't receive real-time information until about 9-10 minutes from now, once the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter starts relaying information from Perseverance. We are under a minute from cruise stage separation, about 10.5 minutes from entry interface.
All right, so they're about 10 minutes away from the rover entering Mars. They're about 1 minute away or so from the separation stage. And there will also be a 9-minute delay before anybody will know that it actually entered Mars and has landed. And as you saw in the other videos, what's going to happen is that entry stage will drop down into Mars. It will drop the rover down on the ground, and then it will shoot away. It'll use rockets to shoot away.
Separation has been confirmed by the spacecraft.
Separation has been confirmed.
In about 1 minute, Perseverance's landing software will wake up and begin the final preparations for entry. The first action it will do is to fire warm-up pulses with its entry thrusters. These pulses ensure that the spacecraft gets the thrust that it wants during entry interface. We're about 9 minutes from entry interface.
So
now the vehicle's on its own. It's turning itself into the direction of.
Right now we're waiting for it to turn.
We'll eventually hitting the top of the atmosphere. Far away. This is
the landing software has taken over, as they said.
That's confirmation that we got shadowed by the cruise stage as it passed through our beam to the Earth.
Telecom indicated actually that we could see a signal that the cruise stage went between the Perseverance entry capsule and Earth. So we saw a little blip, the data stream indicating the cruise stage separation. We have confirmation that the vehicle has started warming up those entry thrusters. Warm-up pulses have begun.
All right, so the rockets are starting to warm up and getting ready to fire. As you said,
the spacecraft is trying to stop its spin from the cruise 2 revolutions per minute down to 0, and then will turn to its desired orientation from entry. It will separate the 2 balances.
As they said before, they confirmed that the rocket stage, the part that was holding the capsule, it actually went in between the rover and the Earth and stopped the data stream, and that's how they were able to confirm that. Now, basically, it's sending back ones and zeros. That's what it's doing right now. That's that's what a computer does. So that's the only way they can confirm it. Like I said, it takes. They said about 9 minutes. Like 9 minutes for the data to get back, but it seems like it's a little more instantaneous than that.
From Radio Science.
Like I said, Chris from Mars Anomaly said it may be instantaneous, and it sounds like it is.
Flight level 1.
We are continuing to wait for entry interface. We're about 6 minutes and 45 seconds from entry interface. We have confirmation from Greenback that they are receiving direct Earth telemetry via that path. The spacecraft Perseverance is currently transmitting heartbeat tones. These tones indicate that Perseverance is operating normally and has nothing significant to report. This is as expected. We're currently just over 6 minutes from entry interface.
So we'll know in about 6 minutes.
Okay. Now we wait.
We wait. This is the
Seconds prior to entry, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should begin receiving telemetry from Perseverance and streaming it to Earth in near real time.
they just said that they will be receiving in real time, so there's no delay. And as far as I know, the Curiosity rover might be catching some of this. There is a camera on the satellites there, so they may catch it.
The signal from Perseverance isn't strong enough to make it through the superheated, super fast air flowing around the spacecraft all the way down to Earth. Once the temperature drops below that peak heating, we do reacquire the signal from Perseverance. We are currently about 4.5 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance continues to report heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Okay, what we're looking for now is Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should be in view soon of our vehicle and be able to listen to ones and zeros coming from a separate radio that's really designed to talk between spacecraft.
Camera reports the electro radio is powered on, ready to receive signals from the lander.
Okay. MRO is ready and able and waiting to hear from our rover.
Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has reported that it's ready to
this is,
the signals from Perseverance.
the United States has used billions of dollars to get to Mars.
From entry interface.
And you don't use billions of dollars to get to another planet that has no life for absolutely no reason at all, just for scientific discovery.
Health and well-being today to keep our nerves under control.
I mean, we didn't even waste the amount of money. The amount of money we spent on the moon is not nearly the amount of money we spent on Mars.
We won't get that data for several hours after landing as it's being recorded and then will be forwarded to Earth later. We are continuing to receive heartbeat tones, indicating that everything is nominal. We're currently at about 3 minutes until entry interface.
Okay. Very soon we'll be getting ones and zeros, I hope, from our radio on the rover.
So like I said, this makes the third rover this week to enter to get to Mars. The UAE, United Emirates,
but from that point
and
on,
China,
there's definitely
all three had a rover and to head to Mars.
To transmit heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
So the tones can tell
and that
us
was
whether
this week
something's bad
alone.
Or not is happening. So far the heartbeat is doing well. So the vehicle thinks it's in good shape to land, which is a great sign.
It sounds like everything is still functioning correctly. The rover is still in good shape to land.
We're just under 2 minutes from entry interface.
This is an exciting moment for the United States. It's not like this is, this has happened before,
Perseverance reaches entry
but
interface point,
it's still exciting.
She should be going just under 5.4 kilometers per second. We're at about 90 seconds.
She did just say that the vehicle is accelerating into
the telemetry.
Into orbit or into the atmosphere. It's starting to accelerate, headed towards the atmosphere of Mars. Like I said, Disclosure TV, their name is on the Perseverance rover.
We are 1 minute from entry interface.
They are 1 minute away.
MROs are in receive mode.
We have confirmation that the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is now relaying data from Perseverance. We're about 30 seconds from entry interface.
The Mars rover, the Mars Perseverance rover is streaming data in real time to the Earth as of right now.
About seconds from entry interface. 5.3 kilometers per second. And
they are 5 seconds away from entry. What you're seeing on the screen is an animation that matches the data that they are receiving. So the animation is exactly what's happening.
We have confirmation of entry interface. Perseverance is currently going 5.3 kilometers per second at a
the Perseverance rover has entered Mars atmosphere. It's going, what you see on the screen, 5,349 meters per second.
The system is now waiting until it begins feeling the atmosphere of Mars to slow it down. Once there is enough atmosphere, it will start controlling its path to the landing target. Navigation is also confirming that we can see a little bit of that slowdown of the atmosphere on the Perseverance entry capsule.
What they're saying now is that
5.3
the rover is now being able to feel the slowdown from the atmosphere. The force that the atmosphere puts on the rover slows it down into the atmosphere, or slows it down as it goes into the planet.
The vehicle should be doing its turns right now.
Hammer has lost lock.
Perseverance. We have indications that Perseverance is now performing bank reversals in the atmosphere. These are the steps in order to control its distance to the landing target.
The speed right now is 2,900 meters a second, jump down to 2,600. What it's doing right now, it's banking to slow its speed down before it starts initiating the landing process. It's slowing itself down by banking to the left and to the right.
We saw a small outage of the UHF telemetry from Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter during that peak heating phase, likely caused by the plasma blackout. Perseverance is still continuing to perform bank reversals in the atmosphere to control its distance to the landing target.
What that means, the bank reversals, is it can't rely just on, there's not enough fuel to rely on the landing rockets alone to slow it down. So just like an aircraft,
going about 1 kilometer per second,
it uses a banking technique to slow itself down
from the surface of Mars. We have entered heading alignment, which means Perseverance is no longer.
It's slowed down to 1,000 meters a second currently. It's 16 kilometers in altitude from the surface. You'll actually see the fuel gauge start to drop when the rockets start to fire. You'll see that fuel gauge drop from 399 down. That's when you'll know it's starting to slow down to the surface. See, it's at 389 now, so those rockets have kicked in, and you'll see that number start to go down.
Is about 550 meters per second at an altitude of about 15 kilometers from the surface.
MRO's reporting good telemetry log.
They are reporting that the telemetry is good. They're still right on the mark for the landing site.
Where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground.
Yes.
The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we are seeing significant deceleration.
The parachutes have deployed, and that means the Mars rover is slowing down even further. So the parachutes have deployed. The speed is dropped down to 211 meters a second. It's slowing really quickly. The altitude is 10 kilometers.
Speeds, and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
Yes.
Perseverance now has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers of the surface.
So the rover does have radar lock on the ground. It has a lock on its landing site.
On the parachute, we are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and subsequently the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers.
Almost there.
We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation.
So we're waiting for those rockets to fire.
We have priming of the landing engines.
The engines have started to fire.
Current velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back shell has separated.
The fuel gauge has dropped down to 337. As I said, you can see the fuel drop down when the rockets kick on.
About a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
TRN Safety Bravo.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars.
330 meters off the surface. So in just a few seconds, we'll know if it's
We've started our constant velocity
touchdown on
which means
Mars.
We are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct-to-Earth tones.
As expected.
Sky crane maneuver.
It looks like the video is cut out on us.
Maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
Sorry about that.
We're getting signals from MRO.
We're just waiting on the confirmation.
UHF is good. Touchdown confirmed.
We have touchdown. The Perseverance rover is touchdown on the surface of Mars. It's been confirmed. It is now the fourth rover and the largest rover to touchdown on Mars.
Perseverance is continuing
it pretty
to
much went
transmit
perfect for NASA today.
direct through Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to Earth.
As I said, Chris was right for Mars anomalies. It's instantaneous now. The transmission for data is instantaneous. That's exciting. That's years worth of work.
They're still getting telemetry from the lander.
And that's years worth of work, and all these people are just depending on software, and they are flying blind and have they had no idea what was going to happen.
The team is
just the smallest software glitch
Stay tuned. We might get
could have caused a problem. And they're flying blind, and it's unknown if they have video. I'm sure they do, but they don't ever release it. Even back in the 1970s, they did have HD cameras.
We just heard the news.
NASA actually asked the CIA
on the surface of Mars.
to use their camera system on Mars, or all, for the moon mission.
The completion of EDL 3000.
And they actually told them no at first,
That is as expected.
because the CIA's camera system was so advanced. And even in the 70s, they had HD, and I think now it's up to 12K.
Strong signal from the lander.
So our satellites are producing 12K. They just announced that the satellite does have a lock on Perseverance rover, and it is giving data back in real time.
We've just heard the news that Perseverance is alive on the surface of Mars. Congratulations to the mission.
So,
and looks like we have some more news in. It looks like we're getting the first image.
so it's giving back the first
Take a
image.
look at the first image.
Here's the first image of Mars from the Perseverance rover. I'm sure it's dusty.
The target point on the map when you are ready. We are ready, OL3. Go for it.
They actually touched down. The location where the Perseverance rover touched down was actually it's where an old lake was actually.
Showing you the safe zone that we've landed in.
I forget what that was called. There's the first images of Perseverance on Mars.
Has just put the first image from Perseverance on the surface of Mars. Now it comes from the engineering cameras known as the hazard camera. This camera is mainly used to help the rover drive safely around Mars, and we will get higher resolution photos later in the day.
So congratulations to NASA, and this is another historical moment for the United States, and landing the biggest rover ever to be launched on the Mars' surface. I mean, it's pretty much the size of a small electric car. That's how big it is. The Curiosity rover was actually the size of a golf cart.
Stand by for Steve.
This rover is the size of a car, a small car. And it has more cameras on it than all the other ones. It has. It may even have a video feed, actually. I'm sure it probably does.
You did. You led the team.
All these people, this team that worked on it, the engineers, the software developers, it goes all the way back to the janitors. Actually, if they have to keep the where they design and build all of the mechanical objects and
image in. Our second image
it all has to be
is
clean.
In.
There's a second image in from Mars
we have
right
a camera
now.
in the front and rear of the spacecraft.
This is the second image from Mars, the Perseverance rover.
The wheels there.
What's going to happen is the
glass covers over these cameras.
The camera.
We took these seconds after landing, so
these cameras are actually going to start looking around at the rover to make sure everything is okay with it.
Just seconds ago, just arrived, and this is really amazing.
The cameras are going to start looking around at the Perseverance rover to make sure everything's fine with it. They're going to start doing testing before they even move it.
This is a sign. NASA works. NASA works. And we put our arms together and our hands together and our brains together.
And what's going to happen after that is a bunch of testing. And then I'm not sure. They'll tell us when they'll tell us when it's time for the helicopter, the drone, to be launched. I'm not sure when that is. I'm sure that they will live broadcast that.
Is the acting administrator of NASA, Steve Jurisic.
So,
Steve, welcome and congratulations.
So that's the Perseverance rover is on Mars.
Another rover on Mars.
They're talking about that right now.
It's amazing.
The fourth rover
Perseverance
to land on Mars.
And what just a credit to the team. I mean, just what an amazing team. To work through all the adversity.
All the people that came together to do this is amazing. And they done it. Actually, I think they done it faster than all the other rovers they did. And it seems like since they've added on private companies that missions have been able to go faster and be completed faster. It takes about 6 months to get to Mars. With the development of the new engines, I don't know if they used the new engine on this one, which is the ion pulse engine. It basically uses light. It uses light to accelerate the vehicle, and it accelerates and accelerates. It doesn't use rocket fuel. It uses just electricity from solar panels. So now we're going to wait on, I doubt that the drone will be launched today. So I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but it'll be exciting nonetheless when it happens. And people watching have just witnessed another historical moment for the United States and NASA. Like I said, this rover is more oriented towards finding life than all the other ones were. I think its very first mission is to drill at the site it's at. They chose this site because it was the most ideal place to find life. They are 100% positive that this was once an area that contained water. I forget what they called it.
Resources from Mars to help on future missions, or even
actually, no, I know about this area and I forgot all about it. So yeah. So like I said, we're just waiting on. We're just waiting on. We're just waiting on them to tell us when the drone's going to start to launch, and I don't know when that is. I'll let you all know when I find out. I do want to show you all one last video of landing the drone on Mars, and I want to show y'all what that takes. And I don't think I showed that before. I might have, but this is what it's going to take to landing the helicopter and launching the helicopter from the Mars rover. And that's the next step in the Perseverance mission, is to launch the rover.
Sometimes you have to do something just to show that you can do it. When the Wright brothers flew for the first time, they flew an experimental aircraft. And in the same way, the Mars helicopter is designed to show that we can fly powered helicopter flight in the Martian atmosphere.
From day one, this was the unwavering dream of our team, to get our helicopter launched to Mars so that we can get that opportunity to do the very first rotorcraft flight test in the actual environment of Mars. It's extremely difficult to fly at Mars because the atmosphere is so thin. Compared to Earth, at Mars it's less than 1%. So the first and foremost challenge is to make a vehicle that's light enough to be lifted. And then the second is to generate lift. The rotor system is to spin very fast. 2,000, 2,200, 2,400, 2,600. We're spinning between 2,000 and 3,000 revolutions per minute, and it takes a lot of energy. So it's that balance of a very light system, yet having enough energy that's needed to, spin the rotor so fast to lift, and on top of it, having to design in the autonomy.
It has to be fully autonomous from the time it takes off to the time it lands. What we do on the ground is we plan the flights, and so we determine from here where we want the helicopter to go.
Our experiment window is 30 Martian days. So we have planned up to 5 flights of incremental difficulty.
very first flight, the main thing is we want to get the legs off the ground. And so we will basically go up about 3 meters and we'll hover there and then we'll come down again. And that will be the first, really major milestone.
Most of our flights will be at the 3 to 5 meter height. We will be going horizontally again at a few meters per second, probably go out, 50, 70 meters and come back. In successive flights, we'll probably push that further, try to go further. So our priority will be to get back engineering telemetry and not so much images, but I'm sure we'll return a few, because they'll always look cool.
At this point, we've tested all we can on Earth. We have mathematical models that shows how it'll fly at Mars, and we've tested it in the simulated environment that we can create on Earth. It really is time now to do the real flight tests at Mars.
Nothing is a given, but we have done everything we can in terms of a test program here on Earth. The vehicle's performing extremely well so far. It's been doing exactly the right thing, even right now when it's bolted onto the Perseverance rover. So there's a very good chance that we'll pull it off, yes. But it's still high risk, and none of us forget that you could have a glitch that, could mean end of mission, yes.
It's going to be exciting, reacting to any surprises we have. We can't wait. What's really most important is everything we're learning here is for the future rotorcraft systems that we want to introduce into space exploration.
All right, so after watching that video, no new information has come in about the next, what the actual next steps for Perseverance rover. I think, as a matter of fact, I think the team has already left. I'd say they were going to go out and party. I mean, I would, I would go out and party. That's years worth of work completed, and I'm glad to see the mission was successful. I'm ready to see the new pictures that come out. Better quality footage, better pictures. If you want to see those pictures, and you can go to NASA's website, of course. More than likely, you can go to the Perseverance website. They usually have raw images, raw data. And if you're into Mars anomalies, seeing different hidden objects that people find on Mars, go to Mars Anomalies on YouTube. Chris does a great job at finding these anomalies and showing them. He puts out a video nearly every week or every few days showing the anomalies. And he's found all kinds of stuff on Mars. Emma, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to try to make it to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully I do. If I do, I'll start streaming more. I did want to stream this, though. I actually wasn't going to do anything today, but I decided that I'd stream this, and I'm glad I actually did. I enjoyed it. As I said, everybody's starting to leave the control center there at JPL, and I appreciate everyone watching, and I'm gonna jump off here. I got a few other things to do on my website. I'm gonna jump onto that, and I've got to let this video upload. It's gonna take forever because after you stream a video, it takes a while for it to upload. So yeah, my website is disclosuretvnews.com. Go over there and check it out. I've been writing more news articles. I'll be writing more, and I'll probably be putting some articles up today, especially about this. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and go follow me on Twitter. It's Disclosuretv over on Twitter. So I appreciate everybody watching. And you all have a good night and stay safe. This is Disclosure TV, and we are out of here.
This is not a test.